Oh, it's a bit bracing. Hey up YouTube. I think you can see me. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me see. Let's do that. Might cause a bit of scratching, but I'm sorry. It is bracing down here today on the North Wall. Here at I never know whether this is classed as Grimsby or Cleethorpes. But I've set up and I've got out because I was only an hour away from high tide. But yeah, here at the North Wall by the really cool seagulls graffiti. Some of the graffiti on here is really cool. And yeah, I'll see you in a sec. I'll just roll the intro and then we'll talk a little bit more and I'll show you the sea and stuff. So I'll see you in a sec. Right, so, you know, I say that on my gardening channel. By the way, if you're here, you're a fisherman and you're also a vegetable gardener or allotment holder, do go over and check out Grow Your Own Kitchen Garden, or GYO Kitchen Garden. That's my allotment channel. Never realised Grimsby fishermen have so much in common. Another fishing channel you should check out if you like the fishing in this area is Vern's Sea Fishing. I'll try and remember to put a link below to his channel. I know I'm not a massive channel, but he shouted me out, and I think his channel's awesome. It comes to the Staley Wall or Immingham Wall a lot. But yeah, go check him out. So I'm just watching the rods because as I was setting the camera up, the one closest to you, the red one, I'm not sure how well they're showing up on camera. I mean, bite detection today is difficult because of the wind, the sea's very rough, all that kind of thing. But I'm sure I got a definite bang on it. A lot of this is wind and tide noise, but there was a definite bang on it. Now we're here for bass. I was here a couple of nights ago. I was going to do some filming, but the conditions were terrible. And the rods were just all over the place. I didn't have the opportunity to get the rods, the camera and everything set up. There was a few of us here and we had a great laugh, but we had to actually pack up an hour into the ebb because it was just, I mean, the wind was blowing in straight at us where we're casting out, and where we'd normally, between any one of us, hit between sort of 30 and 80 yards, we were struggling to hit 30. It was just blowing it straight back. So we packed up. But so I've come back today primarily to use up some bait, but it's Good Friday. I'd love to get some sea bass for the table. I did have one out and I'll on the other night, and I'll drop a photo of it in now. Not a monster, but it was my first ever bass. Did I film when I went and got the dabs and I did, yes, because I put the codling on at the end, didn't I? The little fish finger of a codling. But yeah, we were here the other night. There was 4 of us here. Between the 4 of us, we had 3 bass and 2 codling. Steve, bless him, finally shook his blank. He's had 4 blanks. I've had 2 successful trips. So I haven't been able to film because conditions have been horrific. We've been to Cleethorpes Beach, which is brilliant, but I can't really film there because, as I've said before, I don't like it when there's kids about. I know sort of a lot of adults don't like being on camera, but I don't really want to put other people's kids on camera. You know, it's out of order. So if it's unsuitable for filming, unfortunately, I just won't film. And unfortunately, a lot of the marks around here are touristy marks. They're yeah. There's the North Wall where I am today, which isn't so bad. There's Immingham Wall, which is great, but isn't fishing well at all at the moment, and hasn't done at all this cod season, from what I can gather. I know I did terrible there. but from what I can gather, so did everybody else for the most part. So yeah, I've got 2 rods out at the moment. They're both on 1 rag, 1 lug, both on 2 hook cascades. Neither of them are out very far because it was my first cast and I'm still really achy from the other night. Yeah, really sore from the other night, so my casting isn't up to much today. I wouldn't surprise me if I get snagged up. But I've got 2 hook cascades out on size 1 bait holder Akios hooks. They were the only size ones I could get. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. There's just a gent running past, so I don't want him on film. As you can see, unlike some other fishermen that I know that would just block this with all the gear, what I've done is I've set up to the back of the path and then I've put my rod tips up so that people are able to get through nice and easy. But yeah, it's enough of me waffling. Let's have a quick look at the sea. Why am I going to do this? I'm not going to do it with the steady shot that I normally do. I'm just going to grab you out the tripod. There we go. Turn the back camera on. So yeah, this is, I just got to show this because I really like it. I like graffiti art. This is the seagull. I think it's awesome. But it's all the way down. There's all sorts all the way down. Lots of just tags, but that's really cool. And then there's some colourful ones down there as well. So this is the sea, obviously. It should, for all intents and purposes, be a decent cod condition. A little bit rough, a little bit white tip. So the wind's blowing straight at me, which isn't ideal, but it's fishable. It's not very scenic down here. You've got Immingham Docks just down there. You've got Grimsby Town Football Club there. I think that's Brian Plant. I don't know. But there's not a great deal to see. We'll do a pan around because it's what I do, but that's the Stone Groin up there, and Cleethorpes Beach just beyond that. But this has been a bass hotspot. Let me put you back in tripod. A bass hotspot for a few days now. A fella came down. Let me do this and then I'll talk about it. We've still got the rod tips for you. Let me check on the back screen. I can see a bit better. Yeah, we've still got the rod tips. A fella came down sort of a morning and a night, or a night and a morning on the trot, and he had 13 bass out and only one of them wasn't of keeping size. Now obviously he only kept his legal limit. I don't even think he kept his legal limit. But bass season is open. To the best of my knowledge, or the sizes that I'm going off, is it's a maximum of 2 per person, or 2 per fisherman, and a minimum size of 43 centimetres. That's what I'm working off. So the one that I had the other night that I put the picture in, that went back nice and happy, nicely lip hooked that was. But it was so busy down here, fisherman wise. We got here about 3:30, claimed a spot. And we must have seen 20, 30 other fishermen. And from the ones we spoke to, we were the only ones that caught. Now, we obviously didn't speak to everybody, but the ones we spoke to, we were the only ones that caught. It's coming up time now. What have I got? 10 minutes. It's coming up time. I'm going to have a slug of Lucozade. I'm thirsty. And I'm going to bring, give it another 4 or 5 minutes, I'll bring the red rod in. There could be something on it. I don't think there is. There was definitely a hard knock on it when I was setting up the camera, but it doesn't seem to have continued. Oh, I'll tell you what we did see when we were here the other day. We were fishing on the, is it called the sluiceway, the spillway? The ramp just down there, the one that I recorded at the other week. And a seal just randomly swam up onto the ramp, saw us, went, ah, and ran away. Well, swam away, didn't run away. Which was awesome. Lovely to see. Not good to see as a fisherman, but lovely to see. Now. Wind's just gone still and my rod's still going. Let's have a look at this one. Nah, there's no on that. Lead just came straight out. It's in mud, I think. If there's anything knocked on it, it's going to be just weed. Oh, just as I'm bringing that in, the wind gets right up. Right up your chuff. Let's not say that, eh? Might not mean much to a lot of people, but... Anyway, to Cascade, there's people coming, so I'm not going to show you on this one. But let's get this rebaited, sent back out. So it was not as far out as I would want it to be. I'll try harder on this one. See if I can get a sort of, I don't know, I think I want to be about 50, 60 yards out. Yeah, baits haven't been touched. So just using up some rag. A couple of lug I think are in there still that weren't used the other day. Sorry. Most of these worm I could actually bait both hooks off one worm, but as I always do, I'm going to ask a question. Is there a style or a technique to getting the worm up over your hook iron knot? I mean, as a coarse angler, I used to use spaded hooks, not eyed hooks. But that doesn't seem to be a thing in sea angling. Let's put that one there for a moment. Let me know. Let's move you back a bit and we'll try and get a casting shot. And you can have a look. It's difficult to cast here, or at least I find it difficult to cast here, because there's not a great deal of space for a Conti rod, and also we can't hang about because without two rods on, stand a chance of my tripod getting blown over. I've no ballast for the bottom of my tripod. I really should get some. Short again. I'm just conscious of space and it's killing me, I think. It's killing my casting. The wind isn't helping. Oh, straight into the bottom though. Bite that back down. Oh. Yeah, that was a crap cast. It really was. Move you back up. Let's get your shot back. Let's have a look. I'm gonna do the same as I did last time. Let me know in the comments below. But what I did last time was I just shut up and I just filmed myself for a little bit. Let me know in the comments below whether you like it. I'll put some music over it again. I can't use anything fancy on the music wise, but yeah, I'm just going to potter around. Everything's quite tidy, there's no cleaning up to do really. A little bit of newspaper blowing around. But yeah, I'm going to put my coat on. I've not brought anything warm to drink, which I'm regretting. So we'll keep the camera rolling, eh? That means that this bait has been out a lot longer than I thought. So we'll get this one in and changed as well. This rod's actually a little bit light for these conditions. Oh, that was in the mud. Definitely nothing on it. I don't even know if you guys can still hear me, whether I'm out of range of the microphone. Oh. Ah, now this one. Yeah, someone's had a suck on. Someone's had a suck on one at Worms on this one. Someone's had a little munch. Not taking it, obviously, but someone's had a sniff. In fact, what I'll do now, I've got this one in and there's nobody about. As I'm stripping this down, that's not been touched. Yeah, someone's had a tug on the ragworm. Yeah, I might have missed something on that one. I'll get it baited up and then I'll bring you over and I'll show you my tide cascade. What did I want to say? There was a fella, actually, because I used the technique the other day. Somebody commented a video link. I managed to get it working. And it was a video link to a method of unhooking where you go in through the gill, grab hold of the line to turn the hook around. And I actually used it the other day on a codling. Was it a codling? Yes. And it worked a treat. It really did work a treat. So thank you. You know who you are. I have used that technique. I was able to get the video link to work. Oh, I'm not cleaning this hook off. And yeah, it worked a treat. The codling went back nice and happy. So happy days. I don't think we ever had a spring run here for codling. Everybody was saying, oh, spring run's coming, spring run's coming. Then all of a sudden, bass were here. Although I will say, I have seen a couple of posts on Facebook, and I have seen it obviously myself, that codling are still getting pulled out. But this being my first year, I mean, I've been fishing, what, 3 months, if that. This being my first year of fishing, I don't know whether when the bass are in, the cod have gone. Do you know, one of these times I'll keep hold of that needle. It's getting very cold. Can't feel my fingers. Right, I'll just quickly show you this and then we'll get it cast out. Because all this time, and I've not been watching that rod. Oh, I'll do it off the tripod again, excuse me. So, cascade rig. From what people have told me, pretty advanced to tie. And I gotta be honest, it wasn't easy. And getting the components wasn't easy. So what you've got up here is, well, start up here, hopefully I've got it in the right place. £100 power swivel, down to some power gum, 2 beads and an SRT spring. Obviously your snood's on a swivel. Bit more power gum. I'm using power gum instead of crimps just because I prefer it. Coming down, and this is what makes it a cascade, because it all clips down nice into a cascade swivel. Once again, power gum beads, SRT spring. On both of my hook snoods, I've got a little bit of stop knot silicone, and then down to an imp. Somebody did ask me on one of the Facebook groups, I think it was, why am I using imps and impact leads? Well, I tie all my hooks, all my rigs with either an imp or a Trident. Oh God, what's it called? Roto clip. Reason for that is I'm not always using impact leads. See if I can get a better cast on this one. Wind's just gone, so hopefully I can't straighten this arm. Can I? No, not really. Yeah, I'm not able to get far out at all. Oh. But hey ho. Oh. So I don't know, all this time I've been baiting up and yakking. Has the red rod gone? I don't think it has. I don't think it has at all. How long's it been out? It's been out nearly 15. We'll pull it in, see if I can get a better cast on it. Let's get a worm ready on needle, eh? I wonder if you could get away with threading 2 on. I don't know. I wonder if that's why that one's called. I've got a... Yeah, guys, let me know. Have you got this baiting needle? Now, this is just a little bronze one. Great little baiting needle. I don't even remember whose it is or where it's from. But then Steve gave me a breakaway one that's sort of twice the length, and it's called their match needle. Is it called their match needle so you can thread on more than one bait and get, you know, sort of thread your baits on, pop your hook in, slide one off onto a hook, go up to another hook and slide your other bait off? I'm going to give that a go, actually. Let's grab it. Yeah. Oh, where's that brass one? This brass one served me really well for the 10 trips I've used it on. But, I mean, you know, it's, you know, here's the one she told you about. Here's the one she's thinking about. Is that how the meme goes? I don't know. But we'll give it a try. The only thing I don't like about this one is it's not got a pointy end. It's got a rounded off end. I don't know if there's a reason for that. Once again, if you know. Did I say this was breakaway? It's Gemini, sorry, not breakaway. Can't nip me now, you little fecker, can you? Can't feel a thing with these gloves on. But yeah, with it not having a pointy end, I find it harder to get worm to have it. So I know when you're talking match fishing, the idea is to get your hooks back out as quick as possible, isn't it? So is this the reason, you know, that this is called a match one? Is it because you can put more than one bait on it, more than one hook's worth of bait on it? Come on. If you spend, of course you spend as much time fighting with these. You're not watching your rods, are you? Hopefully you guys are watching them for me. Well, it's not as if anybody can shout, "You've got a fish on." Right, so that's 2. So worm kebab. Let's bring it in. Don't need changing, but let's bring it in, and then they're both almost on the same change times then. I'm just not happy with my casting today. It's just not going as far as I wanted it to. Oh, it's heavy. There we go. Nothing on it. Oh, there might be. Oh. I had a fish on then. Saw silver flash, and just as it got to the wall, dropped off. Oh. Bugger. Bugger. Gutted. Gutted. I just dropped one just as it got to the bloody wall. Oh well. Let's move you back, see if we can get a better casting shot. Oh, that was better. That was a better distance. See if it does any better for fishing. Oh, it's travelled before it's hit bottom. It's almost followed me along coast as I've walked up. Right, get my gloves back on, keep my hands warm. Right, I'm just going to bring one of these rods in. I'm just going to bring the Fury in. Because it hasn't held bottom, and I think it's washed all the way in, so I'll bring it in. I think that was what I saw when it was getting knocked. Some weed. It's not typically a strong weedy mark, this, but the tides have been high. And from what I understand, when the tides are high, you end up with all sorts of crap in water. So when we were here the other day, when we were catching, we had to run down, or one of the lads had to run down, because we were at risk of hooking onto a log. It was luckily it washed up just in front of us, and we were able to pull it ashore and leave it out at way. But let's get it back up and resent. There's nobody coming, so I'm going to shut camera off anyway, save the battery, save the filming, and I'll see you in a bit. So we've got one, not what we were looking for, but we've got one. Where's Hook? Hook's just there, so I'll get it unhooked and I'll show you. Give me him off. I don't want to hang about. I'm all for fish welfare, but there we go. Little flatty. Let's get it back. That happy to be back. She jumped back out at water. There we go. Not a blank. Not target species. And that's the first flatty I've seen actually hit the rod. I actually saw that bite, and that's the first flatty I've ever seen do that. Get it baited up, back out, and I'll come back to you. I'm not going to get many more chucks in. Still only had that one flatty. I've just rebaited them both because I wasn't too happy about the positioning of them. Got a couple of better casts. Probably one of my best casts of this session. But the leads are struggling to hold bottom, and they're coming in beaten to hell. So there's evidently quite a flow out there. So I think to round off the session, I'm going to put a heavier lead on the Snetic Rex tail. That's the red rod. And the Acrios is going to come in at next bait change, or touch wood, next bite. We'll see. But that's coming in. It's too windy for it. I can't put a 7 on it. It just won't cast with it on. So yeah, I'll come back to you if we see any action. my microphone still on? Yeah, it is. I'm going to call it there. I've had a lovely session, albeit a cold one. One dab, one decent sized dab, and baits haven't been touched since. It's getting to the point now where I can't safely return a fish. And as I've said in almost all my videos, the welfare of the fish is important. You know, there might be plenty more fish in sea, but everyone you can return safely and healthy as possible is one that you can catch again another day when it's bigger and worth taking home, innit? So take care of what you catch. But I'm going to get home, I'm going to get some lunch. I've had 3 hours. Yeah, I'm just about starting to see the beach now, so the sea isn't really deep enough. I was contemplating actually swapping over to a 7-ounce lead, but as you might be able to see, we're starting to get a little bit more weed. Even all the birds have buzzed off. The reason I came down to where I came down to is it was swarming with birds. So I thought, well, maybe that's a good sign. I don't know. I'm not experienced enough to know whether that's a good sign or not. But I'll get home, get some lunch, get dog walked, get this edited, and I'll get it online for you guys to see. I'm going to pack my gear up. I'm going to take a walk down, see if the fella's still down there that was fishing earlier, because he'll have another hour or so, I reckon. If he's still there, and see if he wants my leftover worm. And then yeah, so I'm going to record. I didn't record a setup intro because I wanted to get up and out. So yeah, I didn't record that bit, and I apologise. But say I wanted to get set up and out. I was kind of late here, so I just wanted to get set up and straight out. So I'll record a pat down time lapse as I always do, and I'll see you later. Tight lines, everybody.